Let me just say this, nothing's changed since last week. In a ball game, now we're on to Kansas State. So I just told them in the locker room. So, get ready to go. Manhattan, Kansas. Biggest thing, I think we get it out without anybody hurt. And doing it, this is the 4th game swing we talked about that we needed to do it, and we got 2 hard games left. So.
Gary, did you see improvement from your defense simply because Tua
You asked
was
me a
back?
question that you don't really know the answer to. We gave up 52, but you saw when I put the last group in the game and we scored, that was the group that a lot of them played the game a week ago. So when I say 2 seniors came back, a lot of confidence, a lot of things go on when you put people on the field. So gotta get ready to play.
Is this your best game of the season?
I don't know about that. I think probably offensively last week was. I mean, I just watched it, gentlemen. It's a 7-7, and there's still 11 minutes left to go in the first quarter attacking Baylor. There's some good offenses. Gotta get ready to play. Every week you just try to win by 1. Okay, we got a little luckier today. Obviously, I don't ever like being on this side and the other locker room. It's kind of like when the kid was down at the end for them. I mean, I've already been dealing with that already, so that nobody wants to deal with that at all. So it's hard. Somebody's kid.
You feel like you guys did an overall good job of containing her?
No, we talked about running to the sideline, making him cut back, and we did 2 or 3 times. We didn't do it, but I mean, we were better this week at handling him than we were SMU. And so, I keep telling you guys, and so we can just get it off the record. I made, a lot of you guys saw a comment, that had nothing to do with Texas. It had to do with media, and I'm getting tired of watching shows telling us we can't play football, defense or offense. Didn't have anything to do with Texas. Okay, so for all you guys that made the Twitter rounds and did all that, that's about TCU. The only person I can control is TCU. I got 2 guys back. I got Davion played better this week because he hadn't been out for 4 weeks. Like Tua, he'll play better next week. Hopefully we'll get Latham back and we'll get another pass rusher and we'll get ready to play. But it's a long season. We get through next week, we're halfway through. But for us, we didn't tackle very well defensively, so if you're asking me, that's 2 weeks in a row we got to tackle a lot better. And if you looked at us, we weren't that good in 3rd downs on offense. But what I told them down there is if you act like this is a big deal, then you didn't think you could beat them anyway. We want to become a veteran team, then become a veteran team. We played an early game, so if you go to bed at 5 in the morning because you're out doing, then we misused the advantage we got by being able to be done and get ready to play and go forward. That's what teams do. They want to win. So, am I happy? You guys don't think I am? It's awesome. Got a chance to win a ball game. Got a chance to be 5-0. Again, in a second week where there's a bunch of people that didn't think we'd win the ball game. So.
Do you think maybe your guys convince themselves that they can win like...
What? I tell you one thing and I tell them another. It's your job to find out what that is. I mean, the bottom line to it is that, coaches are supposed to motivate. My job's not to motivate you guys. My job's to motivate them. So.
Gary, who is saying that you guys can't play football?
Huh?
Who is saying that you guys can't play
I watched it all morning.
Were they ripping you up like...
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't be a playoff team because you can't play defense. I'm not trying to be a playoff team yet. I'm just trying to win the next ball game. They want to make it all about that. I want to get to 6. I'm not going to lose perspective. Remember, I was the guy that got left out last year, so right now that can't be the final goal. The goal's got to be to win more than you lose, and right now that's what I'm trying to get accomplished. With down 8 players on defense, and Colby Lispy didn't play today, Slanina didn't play today. I mean, we're on to 3rds. So for us, we're just going to count our blessings and see how it all works.
You
High
think-
respect for Charlie Strong and his staff, the group they do. Both of us have been on the ends of all of them. Last time I played here, what did they, rain delayed? And they got after us. I mean, you gotta get ready to play and try to get through it and try to stay healthy and try to get to the next ballgame. That's what my job is.
Do you ever expect Texas to play the way they did today, though?
Well, I don't know if I would expect that, but, I think people underestimate Trayvon Boykin. I think people underestimate, it's one of those things where, a lot of people still talk about what's a gimmick offense. Well, just keeps my job, just trying to be whatever I gotta be. But I mean, we're gonna play better teams. We gotta go on the road 2 more times before we get a break. And so there's a lot of good football left to play. But for us, everything today was about us. But I said a comment last week at the end after the ball game. These are the kind of ball games last week that when you get the right break, sometimes they lead to great seasons. And you gain confidence. And so sometimes kids don't believe you, young players don't believe you until it happens to them. And you've been telling them, here's what's going to happen to you if you don't do this. It's kind of like Jason Verrett. I told him his first ball game against Baylor 4 or 5 years ago, you better start practicing or here's what's going to happen. And sure enough, he gave up 3 touchdowns. Now he's a first-round draft choice later on and all of it, but sometimes they got to be showed. They don't believe you. So I think we'll gain some advantage. I think it helped. We were lucky enough. I think it helped us that I didn't practice last Sunday and we got our legs back. I felt in the SMU game because of the scramble quarterback. We tried to chase the quarterback around all week, and I think what I did is I ran their legs in the ground. And I said, look, we're going to play a scramble quarterback, but you're just going to have to wait till Saturday to play him. We're going to just run what we run and do the things we need to do, and we'll go forward. And get Tua back and Davion playing better. The thing that they give you is they just give you stability. You mean it looked like a whole different defensive line out there when I watched us go through team takeoff than what it looked like for the last 4 weeks. You don't get these bright eyes who look half scared to death because they've never been in this situation before in their life. And, by the time you get to game 6, 7, or 8, they're not young anymore anyway. Our freshmen can't be freshmen anymore. And our 2 linebackers got to tackle better. Those were big backs today, and we told them to tackle legs, and they didn't believe us, so we'll try again next week.
Gary, how would you describe what Josh Doxson's given you guys through a handful of games?
He's just a guy. It's just the confidence level him and Trayvon have. Dealing with him. I mean, from my perspective, it's just fun to watch. Very few times, it's kind of like I coached Brian Urlacher, Darrell Washington, you get a Josh Doxson. When you get a chance to have a special one, what you need to do, it's kind of like I think Coach Company said at Frog Club. I said, you need to take a step back and you need to enjoy Trayvon Boykin. They don't always come around. I mean, yeah, will we win all our games? I don't know. But in coaching, you get glimpses. You get glimpses when you get a chance to be around really good players. You get glimpses of what you want to deal with and how you want to. When you get around one that you really need to appreciate, and I think I'm as bad in my years of coaching. I've been probably as bad as anybody. Always worried about the next game. Always worried about doing the right thing. Always worried about getting going again. You just don't take a step back and just go. You just watch him do that. I don't know if he'll catch another ball the rest of the season. But the thing is, it's just fun when you get a chance to stand up, especially when you have a guy that, that went the route that he went. Where I had to walk on back here, and then I got put on scholarship, and then, he's out the whole 2 days because of a hamstring. He was out all spring with a broken hand. And so, for watching him do the things he needs to do, and that's with Colby Listenby not being in the ballgame, where you don't have the home run threat on the other side, but I thought Josh Storr did, and we got guys playing backed up. We're not a healthy football team even on offense. So, I mean, we just need to count our blessings and get to the next ball game and hope that we do well and go from there. But it's hard to manage a season.
When did you get a sense that Josh was one of those guys that you have to step back into?
You know, I didn't get that sense till about the first couple ball games of last year. I think Minnesota, when he went up and climbed up and caught that one, and I said, number one, I thought it was incomplete, and then they raised his hands for a touchdown. I mean, we didn't know what we knew he was kind of, you know, he had some athletic ability. We didn't know what we were recruiting when we were recruiting Turpin. And I still wasn't happy with him on a couple punts. But he just gives you that smile and moves on. So it's hard to get mad. I mean, how do you get mad at somebody that's a freshman that goes back with 10 guys running down at him and smiles about him and ready to go do it again? I mean, it pisses me off, to be honest with you. Because I want him to act like he's listening to me. And not always does he do that. So
Is the key to stopping her just having fast players on
I
defense?
don't know. You know, I got enough problems just judging my own guys. You know, younger quarterbacks have a struggle with seeing coverage, sometimes seeing the rush. Ours have, everybody's has. I think down the road, Charlie and his group, they got good coaches. They'll figure out what they got to do to get him free and what they need to do some things. I think the biggest problem they have with their game plan is they felt like their right tackle was out, and I think they were worried. They didn't run a lot of their offense throwing the ball today because I think they were worried about protection. And so you kind of get that because they stayed with the tight end in the backfield, if you watch, a lot until the end of the ball game. So whether he was in the backfield or on the line of scrimmage, and most of it was to our left, their right. So I think a lot of it can when the big tackle comes back. I think he gives them a better opportunity to throw the ball around and do some things. And I just asking my opinions, but in defense of them, I think they were trying to minimize what was going on.
How much of your focus was trying to keep her out?
A lot of it. Yep, a lot of it. Sometimes we wouldn't have two guys spying him, but we could. Even in our zone blitzes, we wouldn't even drop a guy. We gave up a zone to make sure that we were watching the quarterback. And he still got out. He's a phenomenal athlete. I mean, to be honest with you, he's a phenomenal athlete. And he's going to keep getting better and better as he goes forward. You know, one of the things that you get, we recruit all these kids. And it's kind of like the kid who was laying on the side. I mean, when you've been in the state as long as I have, you know all their parents. You know them whether they came to TCU or they didn't come to TCU. You know all of them. So you want to win. But on the other side of it, you still also feel for what they go through. So we're just glad we're 5-0. I think that's what we are. Is that it? I can't. Seems like we played 12 or we played a season already, to be honest with you. My wife would agree with you.
Do you feel like you're progressing at the kind of rate that you normally see throughout a season where you get better and better each week?
I think our confidence level, I could see on Sunday, I don't know if it was school, so many young guys on defense, but even starting to teach them the game plan on Sunday, SMU and Texas Tech on defense, because we were younger, obviously they were older, it was like they were in a cloud. It's like, this is simple, fellas. And but this Sunday, it was like, got it. And so now next Sunday, tomorrow, we'll see. But we could tell they were going to play better on defense and they were going to play faster just because they got where we needed to. And like I told you, I put Traven Howard last week in a bad situation. I tried to ask him to be a nickel guy and be a linebacker. He was the guy that got picked on. And so really some of the stuff that happened last week was my fault. And if you don't tell him that, you don't take blame for it, then why should he trust you the next time? So, from us, I tried not to do that this week. I put Denzel back in a situation where he was an older guy and he was the adjust guy, our strong safety, and he handled it a lot better.
Nick Orr had a fumble recovery early. How did you see his game?
Well, yeah, Nick's been great because he played safety all spring. Because the corner's going down in their development, he's had to play corner. it's really hurt us because really with Traven going to linebacker and him going to corner, usually we have 9 to 11 safeties and we're at 6. That's kind of walk on. So in a 3 safety system, that's not the ideal. It's not the ideal situation. You only need 2 deep, to be honest with you, and that hurts you in special teams too. So, the loss of George Baltimore and then Kenny Iloka, I mean, your numbers are down, then you move 2 guys in positions. Now Traven would have probably went back to strong safety. He'll still play some. He did. If we played nickel, that's what he would have played. But I played him to the wide side and he didn't have to do any adjusting. And so it was just an easier game plan for them to handle. But it's a difference if you just look at Patrick Mahomes. When we played him, you asked the question about her. We played him in the middle of the season, and then the way he played at the end of the season against Baylor, totally 2 different quarterbacks. And so I think you'll probably see progression go forward, even with Jake, as you get them into things and do the things they need to do. So
Gary, this school has not had a lot of success against Texas historically. You have really put it to them the last 2 years. Did you ever think something like that was?
Oh, no, I don't know. I've never thought about it that way because I haven't been part of I'm not that old. I haven't been part of the 100 years. I've just tried to be part of the last 15, to be honest with you. But I would say this, I know it's like 58 and 59 was the last time that TCU beat Texas back-to-back. So, I mean, it's been a while. But I was not born yet. I just want you to understand that. I was born in 60. And that's old enough, to be honest with you. Even though I don't feel that old.
We'll do 2 more questions for Coach.
So has Nick Orr handled a lot for you too, more than?
Yeah, he's, and for him, his dad played at Texas. Terry Orr, so you have a guy that's, obviously this was a big game for him, but Nick's a really smart kid. So I moved him from corner, and he played free safety because we wanted to get Kindred out. Because, he's been banged up the whole season. He got banged up a little bit in the first half, so we kind of rolled the dice and said, look, let's move. And we put Julius Lewis in, the true freshman corner, played on one side, and Corey played on the other, and really we held up the whole second half. Except for the first series, that's the way we played the whole rest of the game. Nick moved until we substituted in those last 2 or 3 drives. So.
And final question?
Even with the muff punts for Turpin, what do you think of his performance? He broke the record for Big 12 freshman passing.
Let me tell you, y'all need to just be able to spend some time around Turpin. Man, I'm not sure he's ever met anybody he doesn't like, and I'm not sure he's ever had a bad day. I mean, he's always smiling. He doesn't have a problem saying he's sorry, I screwed up, which it's hard for a freshman to be that guy. Okay? And so, he was one of the last guys we took in the class, and he's turned out to be one of the most exciting guys we've ever had here. So, again, he's more like a Curly. But the thing is go to study hall. Go to study hall, Turpin, he smiles. Get to class, Turpin, he smiles. Don't fumble the punt, he smiles. Okay? And sometimes they help you. Coaches, we all get all caught up in this, whatever we do. And then you just get a guy that just kind of, don't worry about it, I got it. So, now probably next one, then he's going to muff something and I'm going to be really mad and then I'll never have anything good to say about him ever again. Right? So.
Thanks, Coach. Well, players in next.